Welcome back to Frequency Phoenix 555 for your message or messages. Divine Feminine, congratulations on the haters, old and new, because all you do is win. And every minute, Guantanamo Bay is there. What the dress, darling, there? Yes! Rock with me, Divine Feminine, as we do another victory lap. Yes! Big cat wave! Haters. Can we discuss the haters? Hating all those. Did you hear it? Hold a minute. What's going on here? Can't you handle it? Okay. As I was saying before, I was interrupted by a progeny, right? Thank God school's on next week, because someone's going to prison. It's not me, because I'm cunning and a plotter. I told you. A hater, right? Having anger towards everyone. Reaching success, darling dear. They're winning and they're big mad. Let's get them a cake, darling dear, so they can what? Relax in warmth as they sit on the plastic seats, as they suck from the straw of what? Envy, jealousy and hate. Yes, baby. When you decided to say sitaki, what's that? That's Swahili, Divine Feminine, for I don't want it. It's fresh as night, shining in the sunlight. When you decided that you didn't want it, when you decided, guess what? I don't like to be gaslighted. When you decided to put the Most High at the head of your table, when you decided to what? Use your cranium, darling dear. When you decided to go for your birth natal chart and decide to sit in a northwardly direction, darling dear, north node. Them don't love it, but they better learn to lump it as they sit in the what? Plastic seats with the straw to suck up their misery, darling dear. Who cares? Not me. How about you, Divine Feminine? Are you bothered? Are you pressed, pumped and perturbed? A hater will make you famous in rooms where your feet hasn't even stepped, darling dear. A hater will always keep your name alive. Yes! They will always remember you. Hey! Roll with me, Divine Feminine. They're making you famous. Don't worry about it, darling dear. They're looking for a crumb, anything to run with. But they didn't realize that they were tripped up by the Most High as he sat high and looked low. Let's dive in, Divine Feminine, and see what gone the planetary energies are as you kick your way into what? Your victory laps, blood. I told you, big things are going for you. If it wasn't, they wouldn't be hating. If you was on the rocks of life, looking like Quasimodo's bestie, right, in them creeks, with what? No hairline, darling dear, looking like a full-on reverse Friar Tuck, barking at passing cars, they wouldn't remember you. But now that you're doing victory laps, you are unforgettable, Divine Feminine. They're making you famous. I told you, they can't help it. You're at the tip of their tongue. You're the first thing they think about in the morning and the last thing they think about at night. You're living rent free. What did I say? Keep it up, Divine Feminine. The planetary energies are Mercury in Aquarius sextiles Jupiter in Aries. Expansion of more what? Common sense? Good God, you've got a rational mind, Divine Feminine. You understood that you can't be amongst the pick-me's, those envious ones that'll have you brown bread before dawn with their ear-hustling ways. They're looking for a peccadillo, and I'm telling you, big cat, lean in. The least little crumb they get about you, darling dear, even if it's not true, they will add tax and bring your names into domiciles, like I said, where your little footsies will never step. Why? It's a mud hut, darling dear, full of wickedness. Yeah. Mercury in Aquarius sextiles Jupiter in Aries. This enables you to comprehend matters differently. Why? Because you're full of brains, blood. And you understood what it's like to be effed over. And you didn't like being effed over. A different perspective will give insight into confusing situations and relationships. Confused? If something is confusing you, darling dear, do what I do. I minus the big cat. Yes! Take my fabulous, gorgeous, lovely self somewhere else where they can't come. And if they dare try to follow me, I've got free go-to moves and nay. Outrageous. Outrageous. Let's carry on with the planetary energies before I lose my shiznai. Anyhow, Jupiter and Mercury are opposites, darling dear. Together, they can rapidly offer you a lot of what? Information and stability. The secret lies in figuring out all the details before making any major decisions. I told you, they should call you big head. Why? Why? Not because you've got a big head, it's because you're full of brains. You're full of brains. Nothing like someone being effed over, divine feminine, to make you sit down like that old lady under the tree, snorting like a dragon. And in some cases, you're shuddering when you thought how much what gaslighting you took until you didn't. As I was saying, a positive outlook can lead to more opportunities opening up for you, divine feminine. Baby, don't tell the haters. They will spontaneously combust. And they better not do it in front of you, because why? They better know how to drop and roll. Drop and roll. And in that order. Let's dive in, darling. I had to get some new rune stones. Well, I had these a while, because when I went to Glastonbury in 2020, I drove all the way there for my Karma Moore's 11th birthday. Yes. I drove there. I even got a video up on the channel for you to see, right? I bought two, but I never used this one, right? I've always been using the Glastonbury soapstone, right? I went and dug for this blood. I didn't even remember that I had it. But you know, with the amethyst one of my crystal rune stones broke. It traumatized me, blood. It traumatized me. I've never had a crystal one break before. I've never had a crystal break. I've had bracelets break and the crystals fall off, but the crystal broke. That must have been what? Something avoided, darling dear. And it was the blank one at that, darling dear. Somebody tried to what? Cut my greatness. Somebody was talking shiznai, and what? The crystal broke itself so it could send out the protective energies. Well, that's what I like to think, darling dear, to get over the trauma of it all. Yes, I'm a chatty cat. If you didn't like it, click off, mate. I'm amongst the other cats that we've got things to discuss. And if you don't want to listen, leave. And don't leave any funny messages, because my moderators will kick you in your what? Proverbial nutsack. And I won't be sorry. And I won't unkick you. I might even climb on the table and help them. Baby, anything can happen. Anything. When Mercury in Aquarius sextiles Jupiter in Aries. A sextile, why do we love a sextile? It's where energy is flowing, darling dear. It produces results, darling dear. It has that ability. Oh, good golly and gosh. Lean in, divine feminine. This is Gebo. Gebo is represented by the lovers in tarot. It speaks about the gifts that you have, darling dear. It also speaks about personal relationships. So these were people that actually knew you, darling dear. They got close enough to smell your cologne and your perfumes, darling dear. And they was able to get so close they even checked to see if your lace front was real or fake. Oh, pardon me, spiritual belch, because I speaks the truth, roof. Pinkies up. Yeah, Gebo. As I was saying, divine feminine, it's in the reverse. No, it's in the upright. What am I talking about? This is listen, allow me, yeah? This is reverse. This is upright. Yeah. Don't let me somebody don't want me to talk, but I'm going to talk anyway. But you better be quiet in the comments. Hold on a minute. Let me bring up the comments so I can see who's here. Before we press on. They thought you'd stay around for that, darling dear. This is a contract that's rescinded and it can't come back. And somebody's what? Proper upset. Proper upset. Gebo is represented by the letter G, the number 24, 25, 26, and 27. Gebo is what? Gemini energy, as I said, the lover in tarot. It's also represented by Mercury. You have a rational mind. You was of sound and rational mind when you told them 2 of these and 1 of those. The Mercury energy also represents what? Siblings, darling dears, and neighbors or people you was neighborly with. It's talking about somebody's having an issue with their arms. I'm having an issue with my arm. I told you I've got the shoulders. Yeah. And it's also representative of the shoulders, darling dears. The nerves and the lungs. Yes. I've got to get myself to an osteopath within the next 2 weeks, darling dear. This frozen shoulder is not fun, darling. It's not fun. But then again, fortunately for me, it's my left hand. I'm a right-hander mate. The right one is still jazzy, so anyone can get it. Yeah. As I was saying, darling dears, before I interrupted myself, Mercury is also represented by the solar plexus energy, darling dear. Somebody don't like the fact that your self-esteem is on 1,000. It also speaks about control. Someone is trying to control your social identity. More fool them, darling dear. Let that spiritual rain fall on them as they sit on the plastic seats with a straw, sucking up their misery outside the mud hut. The solar plexus, darling dears, is representative of Wednesday. So Wednesday is going to be significant for you, darling dears. It's also representative of Archangel Michael, the one that comes with the big sword black. Call in Archangel Michael at any time. It's also representative of Big Cat Leo energy, darling dear. The direction is east. Big Cat Leo energy. Leo is the 5th house, darling dear. So they're talking about the risks that you took. They're trying to say that you're foolhardy. The 5th house is also the house of children, darling. They're talking about your progeny, I'm afraid. Yes, baby. There is no chill or pause factor in their skullduggery as they try to bring you down. Well, guess what? He ain't gonna listen. Gossiping tongues and slanderous minds, right? Didn't stop your show because you're still on your victory lap, darling dear. What's the matter with them? The 5th house is the house of drama.com. It's also the house of romance and the sex. Maybe it was somebody you was romantical with, darling dear. I told you was neighborly until you wasn't, right? You was friendly until you wasn't, right? Gemini is also represented. Gemini, the Mercury is also represented by siblings. So you've got a sibling chopping it up there in the street, eh? Waiting for you to fail, eh? They better wait for thy kingdom come. Amen. Fist bump. Outrageous. Your siblings, your family members are always your biggest haters. Even if they've got more than you, it's because you've got that bright personality, that comeback game for the gods, darling dear. They've got an issue and a problem with it. Well, I've got an issue and problem with them. So therefore, we're going in, guys. Let's use the... I've got lots of oracle decks, but my favorite one is the Witches Oracle Wisdom deck, or Wisdom of the Oracle Witches. No. I can't remember. It's a tongue twister. And I just can't work it out now because I'm very busy trying to see what's going on with the back front neck tabbing snakes who's not having a lovely time because you decided to be what? Obstreperous and sit in obstrepery, right? As you gathered all of your powers together with the power of your North Node. They tried it, darling dear. They tried it. Look, things was written down about you, darling dear. Yes. Possibly even on parchment paper, trying to take out a child for the light divine feminine. Imagine that. It also speaks about your ethos. Many of you need to understand part of manifestation to do the law of attraction. You have to write it down and then put it somewhere where your eye chakras will catch it. Because even if you're not standing there reading, your subconscious mind will pick it up every single time. Listen, I'm the post-it note queen, darling dear. When I'm in full-on manifestation of something in particular, my room, my son calls it my conspiracy wall. It's full of post-it notes, blood. You don't have to read them every day, but your subconscious mind looks at it, darling dear, and it takes it in and it manifests it for you. But everybody's writing things. You're writing for greatness, and they're writing to take a big cat down with their feeble-brained, pea-brained mind, darling dear. They gave you misophonia and pissanphobia. Now it's got me sucking my 31 teeth, and you know how I feel about that. What's this? The rebirth of you, I told you, big cat. Divine Feminine, the universe said, tag your it, and you ran with it. You realized your worth. You realized you could rebirth you anytime you want. You have to understand, life is for the living, and you can change your trajectory at any moment, which you did. This is why they're mad. This is why they're hating. This is why they're writing Shiznai down, sending messages out into the hemisphere against the child of the light. Baby, victory lap again, eh? Oh gosh, they don't like you, darling dear. They had a lot of fire, darling dear, but they showed you a lot of what? Cold feelings. This is somebody that didn't protect you in front of people or be to your back, darling dear. That's the best type of friend, whether a family member or not. The best type of friend is one that defends you to your back. They hear things that you didn't hear. They didn't feel it necessary to come on the balls of their feet as merchants of slander to tell you this and that, to make your heart go a pitter-pat. No, they handled it, darling dear. They handled it. They nipped it in the bud. This is what I've always hated, Divine Feminine. There's always someone that you hold close that will come and tell you what such and such said. They said this and they said that about you, Divine Feminine. That person, that happened to me last year. And what did I do? My cutoff game was for the gods. I was so missing, that person nearly lost the memory that I existed. All right? I'm telling you, why was they so comfortable to come and gossip to you like that about me? And why did you feel that it was necessary for me to hear this wickedness? That's not your friend, Divine Feminine. Cut them off. No second chance. They wanted to hurt your heart and make you feel pain, right? Because they're in pain, right? Because they ain't you. Because all you do is win, Divine Feminine. Success is your go-to move. Why? You're a planner and a plotter just like me. Not on anyone else, darling dear. On your future. You remember the thoughts you have today is the life you live tomorrow. Yes, Divine Feminine. You got it like that. Posh clap. You understood that many things had to be what? Toe tagged. You toe tagged them bitches and midges, and they don't like it. Type in this and type in that. Yeah, a union. This is the Empress energy in tarot, darling dears. Many of you were in union with them. It could have been a full-on marriage where you signed a whole marriage contract, right? But now it's over because it's the rebirth of you, a new beginning for you, darling dears. The Empress also is represented by Earth as well as Venus energy. Venus is what? About the romance, the relationships. It's about beauty and art, darling dear. But it's also about what? Skrilla. Money.com. Someone is counting your pentacalis from the nosebleed section. Venus also rules Libra as well as Taurus energy, darling dear. Taurus is the second house, the house of your values, right? The seventh house, Libra, is about partnerships, darling dear. Contracts that have been rescinded. Why? Because they're effed up, darling dear. And effed up people are going nowhere fast. Why? They're too busy looking at what everyone else is doing, trying to cast aspersion. These Luke 22:48, the back front neck tabbing snakes. Yeah, well, guess what? They're getting the footnote. Revelations 3:7. No man can close a door that the divine has opened for you, Divine Feminine. So push through. Remember, true partnerships will be gifted to you, but you've got to keep it moving. We don't look back, eyes ever forward. Bottom fit this, and it's gonna have me muttering like Muttley. Base of the deck, because you are a co-creatrix. You can create whatever you want. Divine gave you the tools, every single tool you needed, which was found in your birth natal chart, to bend the matrix. It also speaks about a journey. Some of you are about to be taking a journey. This is air energy as well as Mercury energy again, darling dear. It's all about your brain. Listen, your thoughts are unique, darling dear. Why? They are life-changing. Why? Because you're a big cat, Divine Feminine. Some of you are going to have them to be taken because this is also a journey, possibly a short journey, where you're going to buck up on a sibling or siblings or someone you was neighborly towards, darling dears, that you're no longer neighborly with. Remember, we spoke about Libra, the seventh house, someone you had a contract with that has been rescinded. Why? Because they're full of it, mate. They're full of it. Let's give you a good shufti. Let's see where I go on. What's the current energy around the Divine Feminine? current energy around Divine Feminine. They've got a cheek, darling dear. They've got a cheek. They're shameless and they're bold. Shameless and bold. That's what dummy bats are, because they're dumb. Around you at this moment in time, you're about to get your wish fulfillment. The universe is saying whatever you like. Why? Because you did the due diligence. The Nine of Cups also speaks about what? Heart's desire. Something you've been working towards. It's also about the romantical for some, darling dear. Somebody's going to what? Get the romance that they want. But baby, I don't care who it is. Even as I said many times, they could come in holding Buddha's hand. They're still going to get interviewed. And if you see one, just even a quarter or a quatty of a red flag, you're going to do what young Jeezy said. Zip lock and straight drop. Yes! You'll be so missing, they'll be confused as to whether they actually knew you. Nine of Cups, darling dears. In the upright is Pisces, as well as Saturn energy, darling dears. No, Jupiter energy, excuse me, whilst it will play. It also speaks about you being fulfilled at this moment in time, as a victory is about to come onto you, Divine Feminine. I told you, you're doing another lap, and somebody don't like it. Why don't they like it? Clarify the Nine of Cups, present energy for the Divine Feminine. What did I just say? They're crying into their fists. This back front neck tabbing snake that you was nice to them, darling dear. You didn't stab them. You didn't beat them up. You was nice to them. You didn't spit in their food. You did none of those things. And they didn't even cross your mind. But yet they did wickedness. This is someone who is emotionally draining. They're extremely sad, sorry, and left behind. Let the bad juju stay with them. Yeah, because we ain't having it. World card. You ended that cycle, darling dear. Somebody's thinking about you. They think that everything comes easily to you. Well, actually it does, darling dear. At least one thing they're thinking is correct. The rest is what fucking needs, blood. They're very upset, sad, sorry. Let me get some more deep in it, because they see you as being emotionally fulfilled, right? And guess what? They haven't forgotten about you, because they're spying. Sputnik. The hillbilly investigations are still being launched, darling dears. I told you, they're making you famous. World card, Earth and Saturn energy, as well as the fixed signs of oh come on, Casey, really gonna have a brain fart now. Of Leo, Taurus, Scorpio and Aquarius. It also, the fixed sign is a mid-season, darling dear, represented by the numbers in the minor arcana of 5, 6 and 7. It's about what somebody preferred you, the known, darling dear. They preferred the known, the old you, darling dear. But the old you, nobody stays the same. You're not the same person you was last week, darling dear. You are forever. It's also about what you, darling dear. Why? You was enduring. You had to put up with their petty-mindedness, darling dear, trying to drag you back. They saw you as being dependable, darling dear. They could depend on you until they couldn't, and now they can't even reach you. Not even if they had what? Not even if they had magical powers, darling dear. And many of them have tried. I told you, with the parchment paper, they tried to take you out. They wrote things down, darling dear. But you can't go up against the child of the light. Especially when that child realizes their own faults by what? Doing the shadow work. Again, it's got me on my 31 teeth. I want to know what exactly is making them sad. They don't like the fact that you're emotionally fulfilled. Where's my tiny cards? That child comes in here and she touches my things. I'm going to say, because it has to be here. King of Wands. This is somebody who was dealing with in the past. A dig-dealing, mattress backing animal in the kitten hill. This person is stuck on the rinse and repeat of the past. Somebody that was dealing it out, giving it out like it was a hot rod. Somebody that wanted to be around you forever, Divine Feminine, driving you mad, right? This person, right, made a blind decision because they thought they had options. Yes. They thought they had options. This person was so disloyal. Good God, I feel like giving them a backhander. Who is it? Give me their address. I'll leave the house in the middle of the night with just my braids in the back. And I'll leave all of my electronic devices. I've seen CSI. Don't take your phone with you. Get a burner phone. Whoops. Did I slip my tongue? I didn't mean to tell you that. YouTube, I'm pretending. I didn't mean it. Disloyal and broke, darling, dear. You got a King of Wands looking back into the past. And they want to come through with that cup of cognitive dissonance and hopium, darling, dear. You better secure your flip-flop of common sense. They want to come back. This person who is impetuous, darling, dear. Right? Impulsive, right? Always flipping off at the mouth, darling, dear. Yeah, King of Wands is a nut. Love to chat it up, darling, dear. They had all the smoke for you when you was there. Oh, they did. And now they're crying into their fist over the choice they made, darling. Well, they should have chosen wisely. And I'm glad they didn't choose you, Divine Feminine, because they're broke. They're a joke. They're a procrastinator, a time waster, and they want to come and tell you sorry. The devil's most strongest worker. Listen, this is the devil's diligent worker. Nah, blood. Want to tell you sorry? All they want to do is fight, darling, dear. They want to fight. They're looking for a fight. A lot of confusion around them, darling dear. Confusion. And they're crying. Those aren't real tears, darling dears. They're just enacting it for you. King of Wands is a good actor, darling dear. I told you, likes the attention of others. They'll make the sound of crying, darling dear. They may even hunch their back or even smack themselves across the face to get you to believe what they're saying, Divine Feminine. But it's not true. It's not true. It's not. You ended this cycle, world card, a new beginning for you, darling dear. Present energy, and you are feeling emotionally fulfilled. Right, let's see what's gone on from there. So what happened in the past that made you say, get out, go to a raccoon? Well, they did, didn't they? They made a wrong choice. Listen, 2 different decks, the Knight of Peas on its face. Listen, you decided no longer to be loyal to the disloyal. Yeah, this person was slow to leave your life, darling dear, and their mind is still on you. The Knight of Peas on its face, darling dear. There's no logic and wisdom around them, and it also speaks about health issues. On the horse, it could represent a car, darling dear. There's some issue around the vehicle. Maybe it's not theirs. Maybe they're using some other what? Pick Misha, darling dear. Pick Misha to drive their vehicle to get some more what? People on the roster. I told you. They've got things to do. They're the King of Wands. Good gosh. Not telling you off, Divine Feminine, but it is what it is. This person was a time waster. They never poured into you the way you poured into them. You saw them as wish fulfillment. When I'm telling you, they was the devil's strongest worker. And they're crying. They ain't got no, listen, and they're crying with no tears. Listen, allow my 31 teeth, yeah? All this energy, this intel. Good child. This time wasting fool, right? As I always said that, another 9 just fell out. In the 9 of Swords in the reverse speaks about thinking clearly. This is getting out of depression. It fell on your 9 of Cups. So again, around the present energy, darling dear, your mind is clear. You're clear for you to what? Plan, plot, and strategize what you want to come forward, darling dear, towards your future self. So you're planning for your future self. Love it. I don't hate it. This person wasted your time. A waste of time. And they're a brokey. That's what the top G says, a brokey. They're a brokey. They're brokey. You brokey. you know when a 2-year-old learns a new word. Yeah, they're a brokey. Brokey. Yeah, Brock Poctus. Yes, baby. So what was the past challenge? Apart from being with a brokey that was not right in their cranium, blood. They wasn't well. How could you fumble a Divine Feminine? But maybe it was fated, darling. It was fated for them to fumble it. Right? Okay. The challenges was all of the people that was around you. In the upright, the Hermit is being solo dolo, darling dear, striking out on your own. Right? It was the people around you, which is why you wasn't doing the self-examination going within and realizing there was something wrong with them. It wasn't you. It was them. A lot of people, darling dear, they brought a lot of challenges. It was the energies that he was around. Remember I told you, reputation is everything. Hang with 5 bottom feeders. Guess who's going to be number 6? Oh, I still got to look at this crowd of people around you, darling dear. He was around them. Listen, he was around them until you wasn't. right? You got into your masculine and feminine energy to tell them to what? Love and light, and you can't come back. Past energy, darling dears. It was a situation because I've got it's on top of the Hermit, and it's a major arcana. The past challenge of the situation was very harsh. There was a lot of arguing. There was a lot of icing out, right? Yeah, this person was focused on telling you the big word all of the time, and you had to turn your back, realize your worth, and divorce yourself from the situation, figuratively or literally, darling dears. Yes, baby, you had to get into your masculine and your feminine energy. Yeah, divine feminine, I'm telling you, it's a lot. What was the lesson, the biggest lesson you was meant to take from that wicked situation where you had to get into your masculine and feminine energy, right? You had to be nurturing unto yourself, protector and provider, protector of yourself, darling dear. And in some cases, because swords also represents a legal situation, you have to get the popo involved, right? Good golly and gosh, to leave them where they are, darling dears. Leave people that are going through karma exactly where they are, not to take it on your head and not to take them back. Judgment on its face has found their address. This is why you're getting famous, darling dear. These haters are what? Having anger towards everyone reaching success. And every divine feminine is, once they've done the shadow work and divorced themselves from situations below their spiritual pay grade. Yeah, they've got the karmas on them, darling dear. The karmas. And they know that they can't come back. That's the lesson for them. The lesson for you is that they're what? They're like kryptonite to you, darling dears. No going back. Base of the deck. Yeah. Some of them are going to be going to prison, some will be going to the hospital, and some will just make the last stop at the graveyard, darling dear. By the time karma's finished with them, that's major arcana, when divine takes us hand in what's going on. All of this wickedness they're trying to perpetrate against you, but look what's happening in their lives. They're stuck, darling dear. What did I say? Disappointed, disillusioned, and looking like a dickhead and a dumbass. Right? Sorry that you won't take that cup of opium and cognitive dissonance. You didn't want it. I told you. Sitaki. We speak Swahili around here. Big Pentacali for new opportunities. And the Ace of Swords. You've got new beginnings, darling dears. And they're what? Disappointed with the fact that you have clarity and wisdom. Right? You're not taking their rusty cup of opium. You've got new beginnings, and sometimes this is the ring-bearing card. And you ain't taking it, darling dear. You are vocal. I told you, obstreperous is your go-to move, darling dears. You've become the red light, green light champion of fucking East blood. What else? What's coming towards divine feminine now that you have clarity as your go-to move? Now that you have the Most High at the head of your table, they can't lie to you, darling dear. And this, the moon card in the upright, is what? Fake frenemies, darling dears. Back, front, neck, tabbers, spell work, everything. In the reverse, no weapon formed against you shall prosper, darling dears. Why? Because you did the work. You did the work. Yeah. Good golly and gosh. I told you, somebody's so disappointed that you didn't take the cup. It's come through on 2 different decks. What's the odds on that, darling dear? What's the odds? 2 4s go to an 8. 8 is the number of what? Skrilla.com, I told you. Dema concha pentacale. Yeah, casting aspersion on everything you've got going on. Running with a crumb, darling dear. A crumb, as only a crumber can. Moon in the reverse is not fake friends, darling dear. This is soul tribe. This is relationships. People that are going to manage your emotions, because they would hate to put you in this despondent state, darling dear. People that are going to guard your feelings. I told you, a good friend is like money in the bank. Someone who defends your name when you're not around. Oh, this person's... I told you. They're consciously what? Telling lies about you. I was just talking about the wicked, and here's the Page of Cups. This person that was around your people, they always lied to you and about you, darling dear. They added tax. They wanted you to be juggling and struggling. The happiness expert, I think not, Scotty. I think not. I had to put my back into it, Divine Feminine. Yeah. All right, let's move on. They would love to come towards you, darling dears. At this moment in time, they're paying double Dutch in their feeble mind. Have they got a permit to leave the village? Have they? I bet they ain't got no permit to leave the village. They don't need to be in a 15-minute city. They need to be in a 5-minute city. Everything within 5 minutes of their mud hut. So what is the effect if you allow them to come back in? What sort of effect will it have on the Divine Feminine? We've got the Page of Pentacles. Some kind of opportunity. What's this? And this also speaks about successful. They want to be successful if they come back towards you, darling dears. This is a loss of your mental health, a loss of money. They're coming to ask for things, darling. They're to take and take again. They're takers. Don't allow it, darling dear. You've got something to lose. They don't have nothing to lose. They're already at the bottom of the pit, looking for someone to what? Drag them out. If you allow them back in, you're going to lose everything that you've built up to this point when you had to get into your what? Your masculine and feminine energy in order to move away from the horde that did not mean you no good. Give me one more card, please. Okay, we're going to give it one quick spin and a shufti because this is outrageous. They will come interrupt you with your 6 Gs. Look, star card. You're winning and you're established. And the King of Pentacles could also represent a new partner, somebody who is established. Or maybe you're an entrepreneur, darling dear. But the star card also speaks about a miracle coming towards you. Give me something on the star card, please. Aquarius energy, darling, is the 11th house. The 11th house of routines as well as groups. The 11th house is also the house of what? Technology. I told you they're spying, right? The 11th house is also the house of friends, darling dear. With the that's ruled by Uranus. Anything can happen, darling dears. What's this? Listen. They want wickedness in your life and they're toxic, darling dear. Somebody wants to come and destabilize your life at this moment in time. Folio. Yeah. Someone who's going through the rinse and repeat. This is why I said, my dear Divine Feminine, you've now had the what? The yellow card. The red card. For you to what? Drop down and get your eagle on. Somebody who's going for a rinse and repeat. Pay attention to your intuition and make sure you ask people the right questions, right? Because sometimes people, I know, Divine Feminine. Sometimes people lie when they tell you things. And they lie and they, yeah, I know, it's shocking, isn't it? You think to get another you out of someone else who's coming from the bottom of the pit after they got up from the plastic. You know how it feels to be sitting on a plastic chair all day. Especially if you live in America, when they've got the seats all covered up in plastic. Folio wants to approach you, Divine Feminine, because you seem abundant, right? You're happy, you look good, you're able to maintain, and it's also what? You bend in the matrix. Your ancestral team, says you'll be going down Bobby Brown. It also speaks about spiritual attachments of the devilish kind. Somebody's being led by a demon to you, darling dear. To bring drama and trauma. And they're what? King-size liar and spire. So they're a stalker as well. Oh no! Split the deck and ain't got no money. You better not work on that situation. No. Choose you in every situation, darling dear. Listen, there's nothing wrong with your own company. Learn to love your own company so that any company that comes along, you're very selective. Because it only takes one fool to make many fools. Don't be amongst them, Divine Feminine. Remember what you had to overcome. Remember the things you wrote down when you said, Father God, if you give me this chance to win and do victory laps, right? You'll never go back. Don't you remember, Divine Feminine? Don't let me tell you off because I will fall out with you, know. But we'll try and make up before the ending of the read. Nothing like you getting into your masculine and feminine energy, darling dear. Law number 29 of the 48 laws of power. You planned all the way to the end. You with your smart self who is so smart. What's the matter with them? You've got a plan. Don't double back on the plan you made for yourself. Don't. They've got the karmas on them, right? And they must be avoided. It'd be lovely if people came with what? You know, like in comic books, they've got a cloud with what people's thinking. They need a cloud following them, behind them, a grey one that gives you a blood red footnote of what this person is like. If only they want you to develop mind reading skills. But I told you, when you use your intuition, listen to your intuition and your discernment, darling dears. They want to come and create transgressions in your life, and now it's making me sweat under my lace front, which has the fan on it. It's outrageous. You've come too far. Do the victory lap, darling dear, because these same ones, right, will come back around you, and if they are fortunate and you grant them a conversation, you just happen to mention one thing that's going great in your life, they're going to say you're boasting. How can you be boasting when you're just being proud of yourself? And furthermore, you didn't seek them out. They sought you out. What's going on? That's where the gaslighting comes in, Divine Feminine. Gaslighting. And remember, if this was a partner that was wicked to you, darling dear, they chose over you. And they tried to tell you that they was what? That you was what? Had low self-esteem. Only a low self-esteem person has to bring in multiple partners into a relationship with somebody who treats them well. Only someone with low self-esteem needs validation from the what? The chicken of the sea blood, the raccoons. Now my lips are thin and my eyes are slitty, right? What did I say? They're coming from the south node. If that don't make you scream, also the screaming the door shut, or did it slam? Listen, they're going through the south node, the 3 and the 7. The 3 and, I said 7. 3 and 4 goes to 7, which is chariot energy. You keep it pushing, yeah? The 3 and the 4 again is the masculine and feminine energy. Remember I told you that? You balanced it out. Keep pushing. You're not here to heal no one else. You can't fix no one. The only person that can fix themselves is themselves. You are not for them, darling dear. They are not for you. And I'm not telling you off, but I'm warning you. I'm doing everything except twerking, Divine Feminine. Listen to me, Linda. Listen. Please. They're living in their south node. I told you, the devil's most diligent workers. All because you're doing victory laps. Because all you do is win. What did I tell you? Investigations have been launched. Hillbilly investigations of the Fakeazoid. The 18 is the moon energy, darling dear. Well, when they ate us, we 9 them. The 1 and the 8 goes to the hermit. Spiritual light shined on them. This is why you must listen to your intuition and your discernment. And the things you eat, darling dear, will either what? Heighten it or lower it. So pay attention to what you're putting into your body, darling dear, to make sure all your shiznai is functioning right. They're watching, they're spying, looking for a way to bleed their wickedness on you, right? Well, guess what? You've got the badass alchemist ways, magician energy, right? Use your intuition, and it's something that's coming in quickly. My finger touched on this one, right? You have a stable foundation. We already saw that from the no, I'm thinking about the reading that we had before, darling dears. Am I? Yes, I am. Universal law, darling dears. Listen, again, magician energy, but universal law is the law of the Most High, darling dears. You must not interrupt someone else's karma. You can't take them with you, darling dears. Be on the alert, Divine Feminine. You better have an epiphany every time you think about bringing in a marauder who you haven't investigated. You have to. Never forget you are ibex. Have you not seen an ibex goat? How it runs up a sheer face of a cliff? If there's a crack, you don't fall back, Divine Feminine. You keep pressing, you keep it pushing. And remember whom and what was there for you in your darkest hour. None of these bottom feeders. Only the Most High. Well, not only. That's the best one to have. When you came where? From the ashes, baby. And remember, Proverbs 26:11. As a dog returns to his vomit, only a fool returns to folly. Are you a fool, Divine Feminine? Do you want to be labeled as folio? They will take the piss and the shit in your life. If you allow it, don't let them back in. Remember, they was your biggest haters. these enemies that are going nowhere. We saw the Knight of Peas on its face, darling dears, right? They're a procrastinator. They never had no true money. They never matched you. You came out as the Empress of everything, right? And they're a Judas in a Peter suit, darling dear. They'll tell you this. They'll tell you anything they'll tell you the sky is green with orange spots if it will get you, them into your inner circle. We've got the 6-6 hangman. They bring tribulation to your life, and you'll either end up in prison with R. Kelly, in hospital, all right, or the graveyard, darling dear. And if it's the graveyard, I already told you, I will come to your funeral. I will put on my black frock and my fashionata. I will come up to your coffin, because it will be an open coffin, and you'll look so lovely as I'm grabbing you by the throat and trying to choke you. They'll have to drag me off of you. I'll be shouting, why didn't you listen to me? You should have listened. Now you've wasted a whole outfit, and you don't even know how good you're looking right now because you're dead. Listen, don't let me lose it with you, Divine Feminine, because there's no more reading to make up. Listen, the reading's over. There's nothing, there's no more time for us to make it up by the next read. Don't listen to them, Divine Feminine, and never you buck your toe twice on the same stone or stumbling block. Split the deck, darling dear. Continue to what? Move in silencio, and Divine will continue to give you what? Victory laps, because all you do is win. Remember, they are a Judas in a Peter suit, a Trojan horse. You're too busy flying high to be what? Be enticed by a Shakira hips who wants to tongue wrestle and tussle in the dust. And at your back, darling dear, they don't protect you. They jump right in with the merchants of slander. Remember, I told you that. You know when someone's been talking about you, Divine Feminine. Divine raised your intuition and your discernment. You can go into a room and read the energy and know who is for you and who is not for you. So remember, as you do your victory lap, make sure you do it with what? A hot trot, darling dear. Head up, shoulders back, and every room you step into it like God called you, darling dears. These haters, hating, what? Having anger towards everyone, reaching success. If you wasn't successful, they wouldn't be hating. You've got old haters, you've got new haters. Congratulations, Divine Feminine. You're winning. On that note, I dropped me mic. Turn over to my Teespring, turn over to my Patreon, or come back here. I forgot to tell you, or did I tell you yesterday? Yes, baby. We made it to what? 1,000 on the TikToks. It's now gone to, I think it's 1,400. Listen, you keep coming and supporting me. I love it. We're winning. And in about half an hour, I'm going to go to the TikToks and go live. So if you want to read it, come through, darling dears. I'll be there for a good 15 minutes. And then I've got to plait Karma Moore's hair. I told you, school is on Monday, blood. Big cat wave. Until we meet again on these tarot streets. Cat. What did you say about it? Listen, I told you. We've got what? Afro hair. We can't use Timothy and go. I've got to put aside a solid 7 hours to plait my child's hair. In the name of Jesus, give me strength. Big cat wave! Yes! Rock with me as we do our victory lap.